Welcome to Choosing to Be, your home for intimate conversations on transformation. This is Amanda Wirtz-Rosalowski, and I'm delighted to share this time with you. Welcome, friends. Today, we are going to dive into something tender, something universal and often unspoken. The quiet imbalances in our relationships that shape how deeply we feel seen, valued, and connected. We've all experienced imbalances in relationships, one-sided conversations, lack of curiosity, or what I like to call unilateral depth, when one person dives much deeper than the other. Sometimes one person brings more emotional generosity, more celebration, more empathy, while the other barely shows up. These imbalances can occur across the board: partners, family members, friendships, and even colleagues. Equanimity, or this concept of balanced relationships, may actually be elusive, seemingly impossible, because we exist. All of our relationships exist in a state of fluid change. Nothing can ever be perfectly in balance, or at least for long. Today, we're going to talk about reciprocity. What is it? What happens when there's an imbalance? And what we can do about it. Merriam-Webster defines reciprocity as the quality or state of being reciprocal, mutual dependence, mutual action, mutual influence. When reciprocity is present, connection zings. It is very satisfying. Both people are investing time. They're investing energy, emotions, communication. And when it's missing, we frequently feel that too. We may feel dismissed, unseen, overextended. And these feelings are powerful messengers. Now, we often assign labels to people who seem to undercontribute: checked out, takers, emotional vampires, even narcissists. On the flip side, those who give too much may be called codependent, fixers, or overfunctioners. They seem to carry the emotional load of a two-person connection. So why do these imbalances exist? Well, there are a lot of reasons, not limited to personality differences, differences in skill sets, differences in confidence, attachment style, culture, even age or gender. And sometimes life just demands imbalance. For example, during seasons of grief, during seasons of celebration or caregiving. In these moments, extra emotional support may be warranted, totally appropriate. But just because reciprocity is a moving target doesn't mean we should ignore it. In fact, if we do, we're likely to suffer, and there's research to back that up. An article published in the Journal of Health Psychology entitled "The Psychological Costs of Social Support Imbalance: Variation Across Relationship Context and Age," they looked at the psychological and even physical health of givers and receivers in a variety of relationships and settings. Here's what they found. Receiving support is incredibly protective, linked to lower stress, lower depression, greater resilience, and even improved physical health. Even just believing that support is available can often soften the blow of life's challenges. Giving support also boosts well-being. It builds purpose. It strengthens mental health and can even lengthen our lifespan. Helping others improves our sense of control. It reduces depression. It lowers the risk of early mortality. In my early 20s, many of you who have listened to my story on an earlier podcast, when my body was ravaged with tumors, I was experiencing significant pain, swelling, loss in so many areas of my life. I wasn't able to work, and I remember thinking I wanted my life to have made some sort of difference. So I started volunteering, giving back wherever and whenever I could. But here's the irony. My mood improved. Even under these circumstances, my energy improved. My overall health improved. Saint Assisi said it best a long time ago, "For it is in giving that we receive." Booker T. Washington, another great quote I love. "Those who are happiest are those who do the most for others." Many of you have experienced this at some point or another. When you're having a hard time, a bad day, you're in a difficult season, go cheer someone else up. Do something for someone else, because it's part of the human experience. When you help turn their tide, you turn yours too. Still, giving without receiving has limits. The same study found that people who consistently give more than they receive experience higher stress, increased anxiety and depression, along with other lower positive emotions. Over receiving, which is to benefit more than you are giving, can also harm well-being in close relationships, especially with family and partners. But oddly, the scientists found that in friendships, it doesn't seem to affect the receiver. So, yes, the friend you continually give to who rarely texts back might actually be just fine. The bottom line is under benefiting hurts more than over benefiting, but both imbalance patterns impact our mental and physical health. This shows up in subtle ways too, like who initiates communication. Research using phone data from over 5 million people found that lopsided relationships are common and not random. And one person doing all the reaching out is a major red flag for dissatisfaction and burnout. And it's not just personal. Workplace reciprocity matters too. Whether you're leading, collaborating, or just showing up on a team, giving too much or too little emotionally fuels negativity. This was independent of job stress. That shows up downstream as poor morale, burnout, low productivity, issues with retention. So yes, there is a very clear pattern emerging here. Reciprocity matters. Your relationships, your career, your physical and emotional well-being is honestly at stake. And since the old adage is very true, you cannot change other people. I mean, I've tried, it doesn't work. Let's focus on the one person you can change, yourself. Are you giving too much? Are you giving too little? And the answer may be yes, in different relationships, in different circumstances. Here's my question to you. Where are you on the reciprocity spectrum? A few questions to guide this inner conversation. Are you consistently responsive? Are you showing up with energy and presence? Are you self-disclosing and sharing airtime? Now, as a general rule of thumb, when you're in a conversation with another person, keep your monologues to under 2 to 3 minutes, and then pause and invite the other person to join in the conversation. Remember, we're never speaking to a person, we're speaking with them. Next question, are you following up on important conversations? Are you asking meaningful questions? Where is your curiosity? Now let's pause here for a second because curiosity is really the unsung hero. Why do we care so much about curiosity? Because I believe a lack of genuine, attuned curiosity signals a lack of presence. And presence is the currency of true connection. No curiosity, no connection. We are often so busy broadcasting, performing, attempting to impress that we fail to draw people to us with our earnest inquiry. If reciprocity is lacking and you're underinvesting, step it up. Respond with more consistency. Show up with curiosity and interest. Have more balanced conversations. Follow up on what you say you're going to do. Get into these nuances. But what if you're overinvested? Well, you've got 5 options. We're going to talk about 4 of them because staying the same usually isn't healthy, productive, or sustainable. Here are our 4 options. Number 1, you can communicate and clarify. You could choose to bring up this imbalance gently but honestly. Share what you're feeling, share what you need. See if they're open and have the skill set to meet you there. This might be best when they do have the skills. You have the skills to have the conversation. The relationship is meaningful to you, and the other person may not be aware of this imbalance. Your second option, you could adjust your expectations. A lot of this do this naturally. If there's a relationship that matters to you, you can loosen the expectations. If they don't have the skills to navigate, maybe you don't have the skills to navigate, and you want to protect your emotional investment. This is when you want to maintain the relationship, but without rocking the emotional boat. The third option is you can match their effort. Give at the level of effort and energy you're receiving. You could let their actions set the pace. This is best when you're feeling drained and you want to protect your well-being without confrontation. The fourth option is that you could choose to step away, right? We always have a choice. If the pattern of imbalance stays the same and it keeps costing you, and you can trust your feelings, it keeps costing you, you can choose to create space or move on with care. This is best when communication hasn't helped, the imbalance persists, and it's harming your self-worth or your mental health. Remember, when it comes to reciprocity, in all your relationships and encounters, you always have a choice. Even if they're not willing or ready to change, you can. Your willingness, I love this next sentence so much because it's true for everyone. Your willingness to see the truth about your life is going to predict how much growth, happiness, and success you experience, period. Ultimately, you are responsible for reimagining and reshaping the very social ecology in which you live. And that's important because you're important and no one can do this for you. Please remember to subscribe and share this podcast with your colleagues, your family, and your friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experience on reciprocity, and connect with me on social media. Thank you for being part of our growing community. Until next time, this is Amanda Wirtz-Rosalowski, celebrating your highest and most important choice, who you are choosing to be.